So the staff can go to if they want to get help internally, because we believe that staff can only take the best care of patients if we care for them.
Good morning, my name is Brandon. I'm from GTI Media. Thank you for taking time out today to join us for this employer showcase.
My pleasure.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role in this organization?
So I head up the group HR department for NUHS. Before coming here, I have worked more than 30 years in HR and in a combination of technology and banking, right? So this is my first healthcare role.
What made you decide to join this particular company, or do you always wanted to work in this position or this industry?
I would say, to be honest, healthcare wasn't really in my radar, right? So having spent a large part of my career in banking and technology, healthcare doesn't seem to be the natural place to be at. But I think it's quite opportunistic because the healthcare cluster went through a reclustering exercise in 2017. So some people will know from 6 clusters, we became 3 clusters. And at that point of time, there was an opportunity to join the NUHS team to lead up group HR.
Could you talk a little bit more about what are the new initiatives, or how has it changed from the previous groups, and what are the new initiatives that came out of this group?
The difference between the post-clustering is that we work towards really establishing what the new NUHS entity culture should look like. So basic things like culture and values are being looked at. We try to work towards integrating the different institutions into one NUHS.
So what kind of advice would you give fresh graduates who are interested in this line of work? So this is completely new and they themselves are completely new. How would you advise them to take their first steps into this?
The fresh graduates that are really interested in healthcare needs to be really, I think, open-minded, right? We know that because of a shortage of manpower, we were not always in the best positions to hire all the people we want. So we are quite extensively working on a lot of innovation. So they have to be fairly adaptable and nimble, right? So the open mindset to say, that it will not, healthcare will not stay the same yesterday as today and as tomorrow, except the fact that it's going to continue to change.
So just circling back to something you mentioned about the culture, okay, so you had a hand in building a completely new culture, and NUHS there are other sort of clusters around Singapore. What makes this new culture different, stands out from other cultures?
So we have set up, in the recent years, a fully dedicated strategic wellbeing office to ensure that we are not just taking care of employees' physical well-being. So we have work harmony programs that looks at a lot of health-related benefits for staff. So the wellbeing office coming into inception, we are able to do other things. So we always had a external EAP provider that looks at employee counselling. But when we staffed up the wellbeing office, we were able to augment this with internal professional counsellors.
Oh, so you brought on counsellors?
Yes, so the staff can go to if they want to get help internally. Because we believe that staff can only take the best care of patients if we care for them.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Let's take a step back and look at the broader picture, right? What kind of soft skills do you think are essential for navigating today's work environment?
I think the adaptability and resilience is important, right? It's not just in healthcare, but the world is changing at such a rapid pace. So if you're not comfortable and you're not adaptable, then you risk being left behind, right? So that's like a key thing, a key attribute that any job seeker should have. And I would say, hey, the problem-solving skills, because you're going to be constantly faced with a lot of different issues. So the ability to kind of look at the issues, be very clear-minded, and trying to troubleshoot what the problems are. If you don't know, we always say ask for help. We have the collective wisdom to be able to kind of guide and coach the person along. So I think that those are really key attributes of what people should be equipped with in a fairly, I would say, volatile world.
I think you mentioned something like the dynamism of the industry, right? So in that sense, right, what do you think graduates should do if they want to stand out during the hiring process? Is there anything that you look out for?
I think we for healthcare, we're really looking for someone who has a genuine passion in healthcare, right? It is a very tough industry to be in. When pandemic hits us, it means all hands on the issue. So it takes a lot out of, I think, people, and so they have to resonate with the purpose. Right, the purpose of wanting to do good, the purpose of wanting to contribute back towards the society, because the purpose will keep them going when the going is tough.
Let's take a step back again and take a look at your achievements. Any achievements that you want to point out in particular?
NUHS has done well in the recent years with regards to a lot of the employee rankings. That's a testament to the kind of efforts we put in terms of driving employee engagement, right? So as a management team, we are committed to ensure that the staff's well-being is taken care of. There are a lot of extensive efforts that goes into engaging the staff.
Yes, and we can see that work. And on the graduate front, I see that you guys have launched NUHS Academy. Could you speak a little bit more about that?
Okay, so we set up the NUHS Academy in April 2023. We are the first PHI that launched a tripartite academy. So this academy is not just NUHS, but we actually collaborate with government partners to not only curate but also develop and run tailored programs to help our staff develop professionally. We actually have 4 pillars within the academy. So one pillar dedicated to the doctors. There is a pillar for the nurses, there's one for allied health, and one for admin and ancillary staff. What it means is within each of these pillars in the academy, we are able to provide structured, competency-based training to help these professionals develop themselves further in the professional track.
All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.